In this video, we're going to talk about how you can build your attraction and your seduction skills knowing the 5 love languages and what to watch out for.
Exactly.
So, what are the 5 love languages in the first place?
The 5 languages are your quality time people, gifts, acts of service, touch, and words of affirmation. So these are all of the things that people typically perceive to feel love.
So, that's the key word is that people perceive. So, in other words, let's just kind of like describe what a love language is. So, a love language is when somebody feels that they're loved. So when somebody does something to somebody else, does the person that's receiving it, do they perceive it as a sign of some kind of communicating love? So those are like 5 channels of communication. So remember, guys, this is how people perceive things.
Right.
So trying to convince them of the reality is a whole different deal. So it's how people see things. So some people see things as the 5 love languages is a way to simplify it is how they look at what being loved is. So how can you build attraction as a guy to a girl by understanding their love languages? So in other words is what does she see and value is love in her eyes. So if we're going to start with one of them. All right. So let's say quality time. So let's say if a girl has her love language is quality time. To her, that's the main love language that she interprets as quality time. Is that because what happens is it can be quality time as their primary and secondary, let's say, acts of service and so forth and so on. So you have to see like the top two.
Right, because we're like to some degree, we are comprised of all 5 of them, but we typically have 1 or 2 dominant ones
Right.
that kind of like really stand out.
So they all kind of like once you talk about it, you have a love language also. And it's the way that you perceive that love should be, how you look at love is. So it depends how kind of like you were brought up. So so let's say a girl is quality time. So when you spend time with her, she feels love. But see, this is the key word, is that her perception is when you spend quality time with her, but doing what she wants to do. So like say if
Usually.
you're in the garage working on your car and you tell her, hey babe, come and hang out with me, and then let's hang out. She's not gonna look at that
As quality time.
as quality time because it has to be her perception. So if she's inside the house and she wants to do this and she wants you to help her and kind of do this and hang around and not do anything, just be there. That's how she thinks love is because you're doing something that she wants to do and spending time with her. So see, quality time is really spending time with the person that wants to do something. So there's some guys that have quality time. So they want the girl to hang out with them, like say go to the car show or something, and
The
they
football
go
games.
and the football games and they're like, oh my girl Wayne, it was so great and blah 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 blah. But maybe she doesn't like it. But you feel good that she goes with you. So see, it's not that she loves you more or not, is that you think she loves you because she does those things. She spends time with you. So that's the quality time. So the next one is gifts. So another one is gifts is like some girls, they what they like is how they feel is when you give them gifts. One of the ways to know other people's love language is how they try to communicate love to you. So if the girl is a gift person, she'll probably to show that she loves you, she'll probably give you a gift.
She'll buy gifts for you or make things for you, something like that.
Exactly. So if she's giving you gifts, that's the way that she communicates
Love.
love. So she understands it like somebody gives me gifts, that's what I think love is. Then what I'm going to do to show that I love somebody is to give them gifts.
Right.
So we're all kind of like a little bit narcissistic. We think that everybody thinks like us. And that's how people kind of are programmed too. She's like, well, I feel love when somebody gives me gifts. So when I want to express love, I'll give you gifts. So if a girl's giving you gifts, that's her love language. So if you want to make her feel really loved, is that you give her gifts. So this is the trick. If you give a girl a gift, she's gonna be really appreciative you give her. But there's like a little bit of sense. She has to kind of like the gift also. So like if you give her a gift, but it's not necessarily what she wants, then she's not gonna feel as loved. Oh, you should have known. So it's very difficult. Like me and girls with gifts, I don't like them at all because it's very they're very fickle. Women are very fickle. Guys are very fickle. So you can change It's
I think guys, if their love language is gifts, I think they're a little bit easier than, let's say, a girl is, because like a guy, like let's say he has like a sports team, or he's like a car guy or something, you can find just about, like a guy can never have too many tools. He's never gonna have like too many jerseys or things like that. Like, or if he collects hats, like guys, I think are easier to shop for if he is a gift,
to a certain
the
detail.
love language. Whereas girls, it's like she's like, that's not in fashion or something else. So I mean,
It's because the thing is with gifts is that you don't know exactly what they want. You have to kind of like guess. So you're always guessing what the girl wants.
or sometimes too, then it just becomes like monotonous. Like with the girl, you're always buying her flowers or something. Like if you have to constantly validate her love and affection, then it's sometimes it can be hard on the wallet.
Yeah. So that's a gift. So see, that's one of them. The next one is acts of service. So some women or some girls, they believe that they're loved when you do stuff for them. So acts of service is like you fix stuff around the house, or you, I don't know, take out the trash, or you do things that they don't like to do and you do it for them. And some girls are like, man, you pay the bills, buy the groceries, you do this. That's acts of service, and they're really appreciative of that. So that's one of them. They do that. So in regard to that, when they feel they love you, that's what they'll do to you. They'll do stuff for you. You need some stuff done. You need I don't know, do the taxes, and she does the paperwork, or she, picks up the mail, and she does this and she does that. Those are the little things that she does for you. Washes dishes, cooks for you, gets the bed ready, washes laundry, and she's happy to do that because that's how she does it to love you. So like a lot of men are acts of service. So when guys are saying, I pay the bills, I do this and this, you don't think I love you? It's because that's how they are.
Right.
That's how most of those men are. We think in acts of service, that's what love is. So we do all these things, and we're like, I do all these things, you don't love me? It's because her love language is not acts of service. Her love language may be quality time. So she doesn't care how much shit you do. All she cares about is if you spend time with her. So you can avoid all the other stuff and just spend time with her, and then she'll be like, yeah, see, now you knew you love me, because it's her way of thinking that you do love her. So I mean, it's up to debate what real love is, but it's like the guy pays the bills and all that stuff and does all the stuff around the house, and she doesn't appreciate it, and she just wants to watch movies and be snuggle and be together. It's kind of like she doesn't see the reality of the work, but that's just how people are. It's hard to change people's mind on the way they perceive things, because all their life they've been in this pattern of seeing this perception. So trying to explain to them that they're essentially the love languages, in my opinion, some are better than others, and trying to change it, it's hard for them. So it's kind of like, what do you do? I go, just don't get that girlfriend. So acts of service is one of those things that she thinks is love. So sometimes when you do those things, if you're a guy that pays the bills, takes care of the house, takes care of the car and all that stuff, so it's no problem for you. She's gonna love you because she sees it. So she communicates that way to show you love. So she does acts of service. So when she receives acts of service from you and what she wants, keyword what she wants, then that's what it is. So whatever she's asking for you to do would probably do it. So that's where the honey do this and honey do that come from. So she can be like, can you buy this and this and this and that? Can you pick up some groceries on the way home? And you do it, and then she appreciates it. She's appreciating the action that you're doing.
Right.
Hey, can you build a doghouse for the dog and this? And then you do it, and then she appreciates that. See, that's acts of service. But when you're doing something that you're supposed to do, and you do it anyway, and she doesn't appreciate it, that's different, because see, it's all their perception. It's quality time is doing what they want to do. Gifts is what they gifts want, and acts of service is doing what they think that
What you should be doing.
you should be doing, not necessarily just doing things. So I mean, it can bleed over, but that's the whole thing. So the next one is touch. So like if a girl really likes, here's a touch one, is like, it's not, touch is not like just sex. It's
No.
it's
Don't
necessarily
misconstrue
sex.
it.
It's like holding her hand in public and giving her a massage, or snuggling
Or just,
next
like
to the TV or stuff
just
like that.
put your hand on her knee when you're sitting next to her,
Or
or
kissing
something
her
like that.
hand, or putting your hand around their shoulder or stuff like that, or some kind of like
Just
touchy
gentle
touching,
caresses.
hugging and this and kissing and stuff like that. So like my girl, she's
One of
touch.
mine is touch.
So like before we go to the gym, we go in separate cars. She wants a kiss. Before we go
Well, before
go
we
to
leave the
bed,
gym, I want to kiss. Before we go to sleep, I want to
a
kiss.
kiss. And then she's very
I am.
touchy and
I'm
huggy and stuff like that.
I'm always smacking his butt. Like I can't help it. Like if he's standing there, like and I walk by, I am the one that I give the love pats.
Yeah. So that's how she communicates it. So I know that she's like that. So I do the same thing. I make sure to touch.
So
But
he's
every
kind
time she
enough.
touches me, it doesn't mean like
I want to get it on.
she
Let's
wants
get
to
it
get
to
it
bed.
on. But so I have to remind her, be like,
Sometimes
hey,
it can
hey,
lead to that, but most of the time it's just, hey, I want you to know that I love you right now, and this is my way of doing it.
right,
So now that you know one of my love languages, when I do it, you know how to receive it, even though it's not your dominant love language.
right. So the next one is, so like if you know that a girl, if her love language is touch, then you can do that so she feels perceived as loved. So that's one of the things is, but you're gonna have to do it when the way she likes. So like you can't be groping her, grabbing her ass and stuff like that because she's gonna think, oh, you're just groping me. It's not touch. Like you can do that. So her touch is when she kind of wants it and you caress her, play with her hair, or you when you sit down next to watch a movie, that you grab her or you massage her feet, stuff like that. Like stuff that she wants again, not that what you want. You don't just grab anything you want. And be like, oh yeah, this is touch, baby. This is
Yeah.
this is what you like.
That's
That's
where
some other
things get
time.
like,
That's some other time. So it's how that she likes. You got to give her. See, it's like that's what
because
the old
everybody's
saying
different.
goes. You'll get what you want if you give people what they want, but what they perceive they want, not necessarily what they need. So this is all perspective love languages. So that's part of the seduction is that you give people what they perceive they want, not actually what they need. That's what's good for them. Not what reality is. No, you give them what they perceive. That's why in sales we give what people want, not what they need. There's a fat guy and a buff guy, and you're gonna sell gym memberships. Who do you sell to? Well, the one that's looking for it.
The one
Even
that
though the
wants it.
fat guy needs it, you sell it to the bodybuilder because he's the one. He's the one that walked into the gym. You'll be like, hey, you don't even need to go to the gym. Why should I sell you one? The fat guy does. So no, you sell it to whoever wants it. So whoever's in the market for it, even though the other guy needs it. So that's what happens with women. You give them what they are in the market for, so they can perceive that they're loved, so that you have a better
Well, and
relationship.
two, I think if you like her, like if you genuinely like her, it's easier to kind of like accommodate to the different languages. So like I really like you. So I accommodate to your love language. Even though it's not necessarily mine, I know what yours is. And so I like to do things for you because you are acts of service. So it's easy for me to do things for you. Maybe if they're not things that I want to do, but I enjoy doing them because I like you. And I know that that's when you feel, loved and appreciated and, cherished.
So I mean, we're gonna get into why you need to know this, and you can use this as a tool, but also you have to be aware of certain love languages.
Right,
So we're gonna talk about the toxic side. So this is the positive side.
right.
So and then words of affirmation is that they like to be talked to sweetly. So
Or praised. They like to be,
praise
they
or
like the attaboys and the good girls and, oh, you've done a great job.
but it has to be somewhat true and they have to like it.
Right, that it has to be genuine, but they love the praise. So they prefer that over
Well, no, it
action.
doesn't have to be genuine. She just had to believe you.
Fair enough.
Okay, so that's the thing.
Fair
Part
enough.
of seduction is deception. So the whole thing is
Yes.
is that words of affirmation is that she has to perceive that you're telling her good things that make her feel good. So if you look at all the love languages, they all make them feel good. Whether if it's true or not, it doesn't matter. So that's the thing is that you can kind of use to your advantage is that that's how people perceive things, and you need to do them in a certain way for people to accept them. So words of affirmation is talk to them sweetly, to tell them thank you, show an appreciation and stuff like that. So these all work when two people want to be with each other. That's the key thing. Okay, this is what you got to watch out for when they want to be. When you're already kind of like in the relationship. So you're in a relationship and you guys want to split. Doesn't matter the love language, because if you don't like a girl and your love language is gifts and she gets you, you don't care about it because you don't like the person that it's coming from. So
You
if
can
you're going
use
to
it
use
as
this for seduction purposes, let's say that, or build attraction. So when you meet somebody, maybe you know their love language, then yes, you can see, oh, this person is, let's say, gifts. So you can get her a gift to her, be like, oh, okay, so she's starting to like you more because she's all like, oh, he really likes me or whatever. But she has to kind of like you back. Because if she doesn't like you and you get her the best gift, you're kind of creeping her out and you put her in an uncomfortable position. So you can be an old man, like 16, and you know that girls, and she's in her 20s, and you give her a gift, she's going to be like, oh, wow, I like it so much. But that doesn't mean she's going to fall in love with
there's
you.
there's not going to be like reciprocation of
Exactly.
any
So
kind.
there has to be an established relationship kind of already. So you have to like each other or be in a relationship, and then the love language works. Because even though you know somebody's love language is not necessarily going to be received. So that's one thing that you have to have those things. So it's kind of like when you're in a relationship. So that's one thing you have to notice. Okay, the second thing that you have to notice about love languages is not all love languages are good and they're not all profitable. So what happens is my preference is to have the girl, the first love language is to have words of affirmation, and the second one to be touch. What happens to be her? Because if you get a girl where her love language is quality time, like I'm a busy guy, and especially if you need a lot of stuff to do, if you want to make money, stuff like that, time is the most valuable asset. So it takes a lot of time and energy to be hanging around with doing girl shit. It's not worth it. Like doing girl stuff, oh, you want to hang out with this and go to
Let's
baby
go to the
shower and do
shopping
this
and come
that.
with me.
Fuck that. What happens is it's gonna take a lot of time. I got money to make. I got to do stuff. So quality time is like the worst type of love language for me to looking at a girl because it's the most expensive. So a relationship, you got to take it in. You got to synergize. So what she's doing is she's taking, and she's not really giving anything. I was like, I'm sorry, there's no girl that's worth it in the quality time. So like my mom is a quality time person. I was like, you know what? I can't hang out with her too much because I'm so busy.
And not just that, but she wants to do what she wants to do when she wants to do it, and she wants you to join her.
Exactly.
Instead of like, if she really wanted to spend time with you, she could come hang out with you and do things that you like to do.
Oh no,
but she
forget
doesn't
it.
do
She
that.
doesn't. It's like my brother too. My brother's a quality time guy too. He wants to hang out. It just takes too long. And whatever he's doing is just what he wants to do. And I go, that's the problem with you because we need to find something we both want to do. So the most expensive person that if you, my opinion, is a quality time person because they take the most valuable thing. And you're like, screw that. So that's the one I watch out for. If I know, I don't care how hot she is. I don't care how wonderful her personality is. She can have everything, all these things to have that are excellent. But if she's quality time, I know that's the most expensive. So no, that's a no for me automatically.
Unless you guys have like common goals and she likes to do what you like to do, and that would kind of constitute as quality time, then maybe there's like the exception. Not the rule,
see,
but like an
quality time
exception.
is like if she wants to, like what girl do you know wants to work with her man all the fucking time?
Not too many.
I haven't really met one. If she does that, she's probably a dude.
Well, it's like other than me, I work
Because
with you all the time.
you work with me, but the reason, but you don't enjoy that necessarily. What you enjoy is I talk to you and touch you, but you don't need me to be with you all the time.
I don't. No.
Exactly.
No. I'm not saying like I'm a quality time girl. I'm not. Like, no. If we're in the house and you're in the garage and I'm in here, like you're here.
Yeah, so sometimes
That's fine.
you'd be, I mean,
Yeah, you
while
go do what you
women
need
doing
to do.
women shit, no, because
Yeah.
if a girl likes to do guy stuff,
It's
then
different.
there's not too many of those girls. Like they're just pretending they're pick me girls or whatever. So if a girl likes to go to the gym and I like to go to the gym, then that's what she's saying.
Yes.
Yes. But like, how many things do girls like to do work stuff, not too much, but there are some. But no, usually I'll outwork all the girls. I outwork all the guys.
I'm like,
so
you
I'm like,
outwork
even the guys don't really want to do that
You're
shit.
the Energizer Bunny. Like, this one never sleeps. Like, he just goes.
So quality time is one of the most expensive. So I recommend do not go with them. The second one is gifts. Gifts is because no matter what, they're always wanting gifts. It's too expensive. So if they're taking time, which is quality time, and then the next one is money, and they're always taking money, and they want more expensive gifts, and they want this and that. I had a girlfriend that was like that. And it was like, buy this and buy that and buy that. Before you know it, they want a new car, they want this, they want that. They're very material. That's why they're gifts. So like you can make them gifts and stuff like that, but it's usually what they want. And usually what girls want is better shit than the competition than other girls. And they want designer stuff, clothes, and this and that.
And then they want this gift to be better than the last gift. So it's like you're even
some of
trying
them.
to like one up yourself every time.
Not necessarily. Girls or gifts is kind of like you get her the new movie or a song or an Amazon coupon or whatever. They can buy something if you have an idea, and then some AirPods, but it's never ending. That's the whole thing. They always want, and sometimes they like even expect it after a while. So gifts are no bueno in my thing. The quality time is my biggest one, but gifts, and this one can be switched back and forth, is acts of service. So acts of service is a lot of honey do this, honey do that. And usually women, they want shit done that's not very profitable. So they're like, oh, can we remodel the kitchen? Oh, can you do this? Oh, can you do that? Can you do that? And that takes a lot of time and money.
They have you running around to the stores like, hey, can you go get this? Hey, can you go pick up that? Can you bring this home?
Oh, you don't do it? You don't love me. So can you build a doghouse? See, if you're building a doghouse, who's paying for it?
You are.
We're paying for the materials, the tools, and the time. So acts of service, it just depends on the girl.
Right.
But some girls, like, acts of service is like paying the bills is good enough. Sometimes, so it depends there. So those are the three ones I kind of avoid. So guess why I'm with her? Because it's the most profitable thing. All I had to do was kind of touch her here and there and talk to her sweetly, and bam.
I'm sad.
She thinks I love her.
I'm sad.
She's sad.
Yes.
So that's the whole thing. So I think her third one is acts of service. Her acts of service, but her acts of service is kind of like, you know what?
Hey, yeah, I was gonna say, like your acts of service, like you always have the fridge stocked. Like, I mean, that is something that I'm grateful for.
Every time I buy the groceries, she thanks me.
Yeah, every time, because I am so grateful.
Even when I take out the trash.
When you take out the trash, the roof over our heads, I'm grateful for those things.
Any
that
little
you do.
things I have to do. She's like, can you clean the AC unit? Can you do this? Can you switch out these light bulbs? I go, yeah. I'm going to do them anyways. Para acomodar las piernas. Okay. Okay, that sounds good. Okay, para estar pendiente aquí. Okay. A cualquier cosa me hablan, ¿eh? Pero, ¿dónde? Oh, sí. Sí. Oh, ¿y luego? No. No. So the acts of service is like just things that have to be done around the house anyways. So she appreciates them. So like everybody has those five languages, love languages. Like I like to get gifts, but it's not like the one that I perceive the most. So the one that I perceive the most is acts of service. So mine is acts of service, and I think words of affirmations is my second one. So acts of service, so she has to do a lot for me, which is the most profitable for me also. But she doesn't mind doing it. Because the things that I ask for her to do are the things that are actually beneficial for both of us.
Right.
So acts of service that I feel like when she takes care of herself, I feel loved.
Right.
Because I go, baby, you need to take care of yourself because if you win, I win.
And
If you need to, you need to save money, you need to invest money because if it's good for you, it's good for me. Even if she's not with me, she does it for herself, it's still good. So it's
still
those
get the
things.
benefits.
Yeah, if she's a gift person and she buys herself gifts and she goes into debt, it's not a good thing for a couple. You know, so it's like I have a cousin and she likes to travel a lot. and her husband doesn't. So I mean, whatever, right? So she likes to go out and do this and do that and stuff like that. I was like, it's heading for trouble because it's very expensive. And he's like, no, he's just like, I just want to do other things. So see, if they don't understand their love languages when they want to be together, they're not giving what they perceive that they need
Right.
or what they want.
I think another thing that people don't really recognize or understand is that if they don't at least try to understand their partner's love language, or yeah, like if they just don't try to understand it or to see where they're coming from, a lot of times if they don't do certain things, the person can see it as a punishment. So like, for example, like if you didn't know that touch was so important to me and you just like never really touched me just once in a while, I would feel maybe like you're trying to punish me or that you're depriving me of something. And you wouldn't even
That's your perspective.
Exactly.
It's not that I'm trying
It's
to
not
do
that
it.
you're
That's the
doing
way
anything.
you view it, right?
Right. It's not that you would be doing anything, but it can be perceived that way because, like,
So let's say I'm a acts of service. So I do all these things for her, but she is words of affirmation and touch. So I do all these things for her. Whatever she asks, I do it for you so that she feels love. But she doesn't feel love, and I go, how come?
it's like I'm
Well, it's
appreciative.
because you never touch me, you never hold my hand, you never do this, you never talk to me sweetly. You're just like very direct. So that's why it's important to understand the way they perceive love.
Right.
So you can do this to build attraction and be more seductive within your own relationship.
Absolutely.
So this is kind of throws in the opposite side. So let's say I don't, now I know what her love languages is, so I can punish her now. So what most people, they don't even understand the love languages.
No.
So like say if I'm acts of service, like say I don't know about love language, I'm acts of service. So what I would do to punish her is not do the acts of service. You see what I mean? So it's kind of like, oh, she wants me to do, let's say I need to do this or around the house, I won't do it. Oh, yeah, you know what? Can you switch out the air filter? Hey, have somebody else do it at the shop. So she'll be like, since her actual language is not acts of service, she's like, okay, whatever.
She's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure.
But I'm trying to punish her because I think to love her, I would do those things. But since I want to punish her, I don't do acts of service. So let's say if a girl's a gift girl or a gift. So she's trying to punish me. Her toxic side is not giving me gifts anymore. So that's her trying to tell me, trying to punish me, but not give me gifts.
Or to try to like withdraw from the relationship. She's trying to remove herself. She's going to stop doing what she perceives love is. Yeah.
Yeah. So say if her love language is words of affirmation and touch, she's going to talk to me nasty and she's not going to touch me anymore to punish me. So that the way that they punish people is doing the opposite of what they perceive as love. So that's the toxic side of how they do
the love
it.
language. Yeah.
But most people don't even know that. They don't even catch those. So what happens is when they do know, if I want to hurt her now, it's like I'm acts of service. I'm like, I just want to do shit for you, huh? Take that. She'll be like, oh, whatever.
That's
like
fine.
her,
I can do it myself.
her words of affirmation. She could talk to me nasty and be like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me because that's not my perceived, let's say, love language, right? But if she knows my love language is acts of service and she on purpose doesn't do acts of service, then I feel it.
And he's going to be like, hey, what's
yeah. So if I
going
really
on?
want to punish her,
He'll stop touching me.
I'll stop touching you and I'll talk to her
real nasty.
Real nasty. So some people know that. So when they want to hurt somebody, that's what. So if you know the love languages as a man and how the girl works, you can use it towards your advantage.
Absolutely.
So and if you educate her on love languages then she's gonna understand that she needs to give you what you want, so that you can give her what she wants. So we understand the love language. She knows that mine is acts of service, so she does things for me, and she makes an effort to do things for me because she knows that's how I perceive love.
Right.
And that's the way I think it is. Acts of service is the most beneficial way as a man to be loved is when girls do something for you, because it takes a lot of work. So that quality time, it takes a lot of work, but it doesn't produce anything. So acts of service with what she does produces stuff for both of us.
Right.
It's not like I have her doing pointless shit. Hey, build a doghouse. No, I don't have her doing pointless stuff. I have her doing the right stuff. Let's say if it was an act of service, but I don't have the philosophy that I have that we to develop a quality of life, the things that we need more important than what we want. So I would ask her, hey, sweetheart, can you go do this for me? Can you go pick up a case of beer? Oh, I feel love. See, a case of beer is not helping my health.
No.
Case of beer is not helping my assets grow. It's not even helping my relationship because I'm getting unhealthy. I'm wasting time drinking beer. And what am I going to be doing
You're
when I'm
probably
drinking
gonna
beer?
gain
Watch the
weight.
game, doing something bullshit? You're just wasting time. So it depends where you channel the acts of service. So the acts of service that she's doing is to grow the company, is to have that synergy to grow together, is to go work out together. So the acts of service is to do things that have a good result.
Yes, like I cook healthy meals that benefit us.
Exactly. So those are the things that I encourage her to do in the acts
And I
of
do them
service.
happily, yes.
Yeah.
But just because I understand that doesn't mean that I completely stop expressing the way I feel love. Like it doesn't stop me from like still touching you and like,
Well, yeah,
all
but I
of
mean
those
that's
things.
why
Like
I
I still
treat
do
it.
those things.
But
So
like, let's say you get let's say she's a gift person and we're trying to make some money and trying to save money and trying to invest money.
it can be
How
really
hard is it going to be for her to be
Yeah.
like, well, I don't feel love because you don't give me anything. You see what I mean? So
Sure.
even like if I make her a gift, she'll probably like it. For how long?
Yeah.
After a while, it's gonna be like, man, I'm tired of you writing me and painting me pictures and doing this and that. Like, it's all right. Now she actually wants stuff. There's no end to the gift girls. Because before, they're gonna complain about their car, they want another car. Oh, they're gonna complain about their shoes, they want some other shoes. Oh, they're gonna complain about the purse, and guess what? They don't want the cheap stuff. Oh, their phone. Oh, this. Can you? So because they're like, if you don't want to give me this, or when you don't love me, they start doing that. They start guilting you for not doing the things that they want, and that's what they complain about most. And their love language is what they complain about. You don't spend any time with me. You don't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like the way you talk to me. Oh, you don't even want to cuddle. So you see, those are the complaints that she has. It's because she's telling you, I'm lacking the love language. I'm lacking my perceived love language. You're not doing enough.
Absolutely.
So that's what I recommend when you want to identify what the girl's attraction trigger is, and then you can give her more of that. And it'll be easier to seduce and easier to sustain that build attraction once you're in the relationship.
Absolutely.
But even if you're not, if she's interested and then you find out, you can kind of do that because they want it from somebody they like. So if it comes from somebody that don't like, it doesn't matter if you know their love
It's
language.
irrelevant.
So that's the key thing. It's just the way that they perceive it. And yeah, let's say she's a hot girl and she wants gifts, forget it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, because if you start off giving her the gifts and then at some point, like you said, if you need to start saving money or do something, it's going to put a big strain on the relationship.
Well, let's say if you're a
She's
guy
got so
and you
used to
know
it.
she's hot as fuck and she's a gift person, if you're bending to her perception of how making her feel, what you're really doing is that she's controlling the sexuality and she's anti-leveraging you to manipulate you to correspond to her love language. That's why some divas get away with it, or some girls, because they're so pretty and everything that they get their way, and if you don't give them their way, they find somebody else. You know what? Good riddance. Vámonos. Because it's going to take out. What happens is that you want to play for a while, you go over there, you play for a while, and then you move on to next. Okay, that was short term. The long term, I recommend that you get those love languages. The girls that are not quality time, not gifts, and then acts of service, you have to be kind of careful. But they're dominant. The two is words of affirmation and touch. Those are the easiest ones because they don't require so much investment and you can get a lot of return. And if you're one of those guys that are gifts and stuff like that, then maybe it doesn't take too much. Or if you're a quality time guy, it's kind of like, well, the quality time that you want to do, hopefully when you have her doing something, make it something that's useful for both of you.
Right.
Because if you're wasting your own time doing things, just chasing pleasures, you're wasting her time also. So that's the whole thing. You got to be careful where you make those decisions of where you want to put it. Because just because you get what you want doesn't mean it's a good thing for you.
Exactly.
So understanding those love languages and where you channel them makes the whole thing. So the ones we channel, the things that we concentrate on quality of life is channel the things that are most important. Your physical health, your mental health, your physical assets, your intellectual assets. Concentrate on those. So that's health, assets, and then relationships, and then D is for desired.
In that
A
order.
lot of people put the quality time, the gifts, the acts of service in the desire part. Or the touch and the words of affirmation kind of like in the desire part. Instead of focusing them on the health asset parts. So to make a better relationship, make an investment of channeling those things into the health and acid. So there's a lot of girls that don't want to work out. They don't want to do anything. All they want to do is have fun. And have fun is just on the desire. And that's very expensive, time consuming, and all these things for what? Just a piece of ass once in a while? It's in the long run, it's not worth it. In the short run, sometimes you just,
Maybe.
I understand. I've been there. But eventually, when you grow up and mature, your priorities are going to shift. They have to shift. And those are the things. So understanding those love languages can build attraction towards the right woman so you can build the right relationship. Or you can use them towards your advantage to make the relationship take off a little bit smoother and you can seduce her a little bit faster because you understand it. But remember, when you are wasting time with somebody just to seduce, you're wasting time to find somebody for a good relationship to have that synergy.